It's 2 in the morning. I'm tired, but I can't go to sleep. I'm sitting on a bed in my living room in a completely empty house, full of self doubt and a bunch of anxiety right now, thinking I'm making a mistake. I spent the whole day loading up the truck. Usually, when we move, my wife and I kind of have a unwritten agreement. She does a lot of the packing, and I load up the truck and clean the house while she takes care of the kids. We distribute the work equally, and I do what I'm good at, which is picking up the mess and packing everything in the truck. And she does what she's good at, which is organizing all the things into the right boxes and labeling everything so that everything's not complete chaos. This isn't the first time we moved, and it's not the first time that we're packing up our belongings to go and travel the world again, but it does feel like it might be the last time. Feels like it's the last time because I don't know if I really want to do this again. This feels like my last real effort of giving this a real shot. I don't know what to expect from this whole move, but a lot has been going through my mind while I've been packing up the truck. I was listening to Tim Ferriss's podcast. I got a lot of good insights there, and it's funny how serendipitous things can be sometimes, and how you can hear the right things at the right time to make you feel like you're doing the right thing. But it's still really hard to silence that inner voice that tells you you're doing the wrong thing. I've got a lot of that going on right now, and it's tough because I really want to make this work this time. I'm really trying to pursue this in the right way. I'm really trying to make my dreams happen, and I'm really trying to give this everything I've got. I was never someone who was interested in entrepreneurship. Working a day job was just something that I figured I would do my whole life. I've taken a lot of the right steps to be in the best possible spot that I can be to make this happen. Like making sure we have enough in savings if things go wrong, making sure that we lower our bills and figure out how much exactly it is that I need to make in order for us to be able to afford a life that we want to live, and what my family and I have to do in order to make these things possible. Reducing our cost of living and staying in the US just didn't seem feasible. And that's why we chose to go to Southeast Asia, because cost of living's a lot cheaper there, and I really don't have to make that much in order for us to live comfortably. But when I think about everything I'm putting my kids through, and when I think about all the potentials of failure and this not working out, I can't help but be stressed about it. I try to take my mind off of the thoughts of failure, and I try to reassure myself that things are going to go well. My wife also tries to reassure me. And I got to say that it's really nice to have a good partner in all of this, and someone who believes in you. It's funny, I've come such a long way from where I once was and who I once was. The person I was 20 years ago wouldn't recognize me now. I thought about something while I was cleaning up around here, and I was scrubbing the toilets and cleaning the bathroom. I thought about this really crappy job I had right when I moved to Vegas. I was working a graveyard shift with a buddy of mine who was a ex-gangbanger. He got me this gig working for some cleaning company under the table. We had to scrub toilets at the MGM Grand's daycare. And it was little, tiny daycare toilets for little kids. And I'll never forget that. I remember it till this day. And it's funny how cleaning the bathroom here as I'm moving out in our 4-bedroom house, getting ready to take the trip of a lifetime with my family to Southeast Asia and try to pursue my dreams, as I'm scrubbing a toilet and cleaning my house and thinking about how my life is just so different now. And all of it is because I kept trying to do different things, and I kept trying to improve my life, and I kept trying to make changes for the better. I heard Theo Vaughn on his podcast recently. Not a big fan of his, but I catch his podcast clips sometimes. And he said something that stuck out, and it's such a simple quote. And it was, "Nothing changes if nothing changes," which made me think of the other really famous quote, which is, "You can't expect different results doing the same thing." Or doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, is the definition of insanity. I forget the quote, but you guys know what I mean. It got me thinking about how so many changes that I make and so many things that I do often lead me to a better position. And I know I've talked about this before, and I'm sure that I just sound like I'm repeating myself all the time, but this is just what's on my mind lately. And this is the stuff that helps me remember that I'm doing the right decision when I'm having moments of self-doubt and fear of failure. And maybe, I guess, all I'm trying to get to in this video is that if you're trying to make changes for the best, if you're trying to improve your life, if you're doing what you feel in your intuition, in your gut to be the right thing for your future, and you're making those changes and you're going against the grain and you're doing things that feel like they may not work out, and you have the doubts and other people are doubting you and it feels like things aren't going to work out, just trust the process and trust that intuition. Keep working on things that drive you to be a better person and put you in a better position. I know I had a good job, the dream life on paper, and the desire to want more seems silly to a lot of people, and I don't expect people to get it. I really don't. I don't get it sometimes myself, but it's what's calling me. And sometimes you just got to answer the call. You don't know who's calling or why they're calling or what the hell the calling even means, but you know that you got to answer it. And you know that in the long run, ultimately, it's the best decision that you can make. So I'm going to keep answering the call. I'm going to keep trying to make changes until I get to where I want to be in life. And the more I think about it, the more I realize that it's not a financial position that I want to be in. Although finances have something to do with it, it's more the desire to have freedom and the ability to live the life that I want. And I want to live an interesting life. I don't want to live a boring life, clocking in and clocking out every day, working a job I don't like to live a life I don't want. And that's all I got to say. And me talking this out has already made me feel better about this whole situation right now in this empty room when my wife and kids are at my brother-in-law's house. Shout out to him again. He came through and helped me load up the truck. I don't know what I've done to deserve such a great support system and awesome people around me. Sometimes I question if this is all real, and sometimes I question how I got so lucky. But the harder I work, the luckier I get. There's another goofy quote that I can end this video on. Regardless of what anybody has to say about any of this, I'm feeling pretty good so far. And except for a little bit of anxiety and self-doubt and a minor panic attack that I've had tonight after loading everything up and cleaning this house to get ready to get out of here tomorrow, I gotta say, it still feels like overall I'm doing the right thing. And I'm really excited to get this adventure started. Moving's never easy, and a move this big is definitely not going to be easy. So with all that said, keep making moves, keep making changes, keep getting after what you want to get after, keep doing what you want to do, get to where you want to be. We all deserve better, and that's what we're going to get. All right, with all that said, thanks for watching, and I'm going to go to bed now. Peace.